Statistically, you will never be truly great at something. Why is it like that? Most people only get good at things but never become great. In this video, I will tell you why and the secret to actually becoming truly great at something. I'll also share a very interesting bonus tip towards the end for those of you that really want to exceed. So, you made it here. That means you have the chance to stop being okay at things like everybody else, and that you may start becoming great instead. You may master something, become the best of the best in your line of work, or master a skill. What you're about to hear is something I read in a book, and I find it to be incredibly useful to keep in mind. The book is called Influencer. It was published 2007, so literally before influencers were a thing. So it's not about being an influencer as we know it, but it's about influencing people. According to the Influencer book, this is why you won't ever get really good at something. After we have practiced something fairly uncomplicated for a maximum of 50 hours, usually less, we stop learning. We stop learning because we feel like we got a hang of it. Either because of that, or because we make the decision, conscious or not, that any time spent on learning more about it would not give you as much as actually just doing that thing. So for an example, if you have to study roughly 8 hours a day, would you consider it to be worth it if you spent 7 of those on studying and the 8th hour on learning how to study more efficiently? We usually decide it's not worth it, but it probably would be. We feel like we don't have time for anything else other than work. But this is why you won't grow. It's why you won't get better at it. If we spend a considerable amount of time on something, we should also always have time scheduled where we just learn more about how to get better at that thing. For example, I edit videos all day long for you guys, but I also have multiple hours every week scheduled where I just learn more on how to edit better and more efficiently, and just overall on YouTube skills, I guess you can call it. What stuff people like to see in videos, how to properly hook the viewer, which is you. Are you feeling hooked? Anyways, think about what things you spend a lot of time on, but you spend no time on improving. Example, you may use Microsoft Word quite often. It might be a big part of your job or studies, but you may not know most of the shortcuts that will make writing an essay much easier and efficient. According to the Influencer book, in many professions, people with 5 years of experience are equally skilled as people with 20 years of experience. And this is in most professions pretty much, because we spend no time actually searching for new things to learn on the subject. We don't spend a few hours a week scanning the corners of the internet to learn those extra few details to become the best of the best. Instead, our goal is just being good enough to pass, to just have a hang of it. Deliberate practice is something we need. We need to develop the skill of practice, the skill of becoming better than everyone else in our field. This is how you exceed. And there's a really interesting thing you can choose to add here. If you feel like you've learned everything in your field, which you probably haven't, but still, this is that tip, by the way, that I said I was going to share towards the end of the video. As I said, you should have a few hours every week scheduled where you just try to get better at what you do, but you should have at least 1 or 2 hours where you also look at different fields and how you might be able to take things from them and add to your skill set. A good example is how the drive-thru came to be. I don't remember the exact names of the companies involved, but a guy that owned a fast food chain kept optimizing the restaurants more and more, and then realized he had to start looking outside of just fast food chains to find things to improve, because he had optimized and improved everything so well. So he went to a bank, of all places, to find things that he could implement to his own business. And that bank had something special. You could stay in your car instead of going into the bank to do what you came for. The bank had a drive-thru, and he thought, what if people could order and receive food all while staying in their cars and then just drive off? And he created the first fast food drive-thru, and this was a game changer. So I, for one, obviously want to get better at hosting this YouTube channel. So the obvious thing to do is to learn more about that. But I decided to look outside of this specific field as well, on things that I could implement. For example, I took an online course in public speaking, and I found some pretty helpful things in that course for the structure of my videos and for the way I talk. Things I now try to keep in mind so I can work on them. So keep in mind, things outside of your line of work might be very useful to you as well. You just gotta get creative. So that's it for this one. Make sure you keep learning and spend some time every week just focusing on improving your skills in whatever area you wish to grow in, and also in areas outside of your field, because you might find some really useful tricks. So good luck and earn your sleep. And by the way, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Please and thank you.